Okay, joined now by some Blaine Bengals. We have Lexi, Imdieke, and Molly Garber. Welcome.
Hi.
Hi.
All right, we're going to start with Lexi. Lexi, why don't you summarize the season for us?
Um, I think our season went pretty well this year. There was ups and downs, but I think towards the end we really found out our our strong spots, and we fixed up some of the things that we struggled with in the beginning. And even though we didn't finish how we wanted to, we still were proud of how far we've come this year.
What would you say was the identity of your team this year?
The quickness of our team, and we all knew each other's strengths and stuff, so we just kind of like found out who to pass to and everything during a certain time, because we all knew each other pretty well, and how each other reacts on the court and stuff. So I think it would be um just who each other were, and the strengths of our teammates and stuff.
Lexi, you're a junior. We really saw you kind of emerge on the scene last year as a sophomore. Molly, you are a sophomore. You also had a very impactful year this year. Tell us, previous to this, your sophomore year, had you had much varsity playing time?
Me?
Yes, Molly.
No, I got in for a couple minutes during the Coon Rapids game for sections last year. I played JV the whole season, but we practiced together, which was it was good to go against our varsity team. The season going up, I was still unsure about exactly my roller, and it took a couple games, and I talked to coach, and Lexi was right there beside me this season, and it was great just to grow and just grow with your team around you too, because you saw people on your team that you didn't know they could do it, and then they could just do stuff, and it was just amazing to go through the season with growing with alongside your teammates.
And it's got to help having, Lexi there with you. She's still close in age, and she knows what it's like, coming in as as a sophomore, with a big increase in playing time and kind of how that works. So she's able to help you along the way.
Yeah.
All right, Lexi, tell me about some of the obstacles or challenges that you had to overcome this season.
Me as an individual or team?
Both.
Okay. One obstacle that I had to overcome this year was, um, I think that during the season I got a little bit too comfortable, and our team is told to push each other and stuff. And I think throughout the season um, I was reminded that I needed to work every single day, no matter what. And there's kids on the JV team and stuff that will come take your spot any day if you're not giving 100%. And I think that's one thing that I was reminded, is that even if you start on varsity, you get varsity playing minutes, there's no days off where you just get to do whatever you want. You always have to put in the work. And I think one thing that was an obstacle for our team was finishing games, because we we were always looked at as a second half team, and in the first half we wouldn't give it our all, and so we'd be down at halftime or anything, and in the second half we'd always have to come back this with this huge gap of points, and some games we just couldn't finish, or we couldn't come out with the win. And I think that that was a struggle for us, is in the first half we weren't always ready to go out of the gate.
Molly, other than being new and trying to find your role, what are some of the challenges or obstacles that you feel you and your team faced?
With what Lexi said about coming out slow, not having a good first half, that was one of the challenges. And I think just in the beginning of the season, connecting, and because we got pushed back for the start of the season and we had to wear masks, but we got to play. So the mask made it a little bit harder. because it took a little bit more to have endurance compared without a mask. But we struggled a little bit coming out. And even just the beginning of the second half, we had a couple slow minutes before he came out. And that's all I could say.
Okay, Molly, tell me what a favorite memory from this season.
Favorite memory? It would probably be the Andover game because we played so well. It was just, we connected and we finished and we played how we could play. And then I have a favorite practice memory. So Madge, our senior, she was in practice and she's always so fun to be around. And she started dancing in front of me. And I was trying to pay attention to what was going on, so I had to dance back to see. And it kind of just came like a little thing. And I had a blast with that season. So that was probably my favorite memory from practice.
All right, so you had to counter dance moves in order to see what was going on.
Yep.
All right, Lexi, tell me about one of your favorite memories from the season.
I think one of my favorite memory, this one was definitely a team memory, but when we played Totino Grace, we were down at halftime, one of those games that we just didn't come out strong. And at halftime, we were told what's up during halftime. We were yelled at. We were just put on the spot, and then we came out and in the second half and scored 55 points in a half. And I think that was one game that our team really just realized what we could actually do when we put our hearts and minds to it.
Awesome. Any other things from this season or even maybe last season, Lexi, that's something that you consider something that you won't soon forget?
I think last year in the game against Centennial, the triple overtime, I think that game was pretty exciting. There was a bunch of fans there. It was super nerve-wracking. It was back and forth towards the end, and I think that was one game where I really got the chance to step up, and I think that was really important that I don't think I'll forget in my high school career.
Imdieke, another offensive rebound for Blaine. Imdieke to the hoop. Got it! What? 4 seconds inside for Schmidt. Schmidt spins around. Met by Geyer. Ball's on the ground. And Imdieke is there for the shot. And the foul, it counts! For the first time since 2016, the Blaine Bengals have defeated their rivals Centennial Cougars.
That's the same for me. I won't soon forget that game either, the triple overtime game. And that's really for us, that's when we saw you really step onto the scene and make a name for yourself, and a lot of highlight moments in that game. So that was definitely fun to watch.
Thank you.
So looking ahead to next year, Lexi, what are kind of some of the goals and expectations that you guys have for yourselves?
I think next year, a goal obviously is to go to state. That's the goal every year. And then expectations, I think that next year we need to be a little bit more disciplined. And in the first half, we really need to learn how to come out not slow. And in practice, we always need to work hard because you're not going to get better if you're not working hard. And just working as a team more as well. I think we should definitely pay attention to that because sometimes when you don't work as a team, it happened a couple times this year, you can't come out with the win. And I think next year, if we want to win and go to state, I think that we definitely need to work together and push each other every day.
Awesome. And Molly, your thoughts on next season, both for the team and maybe things that you might be working on looking ahead to next year?
We definitely need to be more disciplined as a team, like Lexi said. And I think a good goal for us would be getting 500 because we were close this season, but unfortunately we ended just under 500. And I definitely think that we can get above 500 next year. And then we just have like a few lapses in some games that just brings us down in points or creates a bigger gap of separation. And I think if we get rid of those, we'd be finishing a lot more games, which it just takes some more discipline, like in practice and working harder and improving, just getting to know your teammates better. Next year, I have a goal for a double-double just for a game, getting 10 rebounds and 10 points. So
So you do
that's
it
my
once,
goal.
and then the next goal will be to average a double-double, right?
Yeah.
There you go. All right. So speaking of getting to know your teammates, Molly, tell us the best part about Lexi.
Lexi's always good to be around at practice, works hard. She can get into those lanes somehow. I don't know how you get through some of the pockets. I'll watch from the baseline and you'll squeeze through two defenders. She can get into the paint and she can finish and she can shoot threes. She's a great player to play with and I enjoy playing with her. If I drive in and I see her in the three, I know she's going to hit it if I pass it out. Just a great player to play with.
Awesome. She is slinky. She finds her way to the bucket, that's for sure. Lexi, tell me the best part about Molly. If you had to just
I
pick
think
one, there's a lot. Just kind of narrow it down to one.
I think Molly is very like I can count on Molly no matter what. I think like whenever I'm driving in the lane, I see her like she's always like just dump off to her. I think that she's a very what's the word? Um
Reliable?
yeah, very reliable. I don't remember one time where I wasn't relying on Molly. I think that she finishes. She's always the first one down the court. I think that Molly is just a great player to play with because no matter what, like she's someone that you can count on and I don't have to second guess myself anytime about Molly.
Everybody could use a Molly Garber, I think. I think that's one thing we know. All right, just to wrap things up, do you guys have any last things to mention or any shout outs for anybody? Start with you, Lexi.
Uh I would just say shout out to the rest of our teammates. I mean, it's not just me and Molly on the team. I think it's a whole team. Like two people don't make a team. It's definitely everyone else that we play with.
Also, shout out to our coaches for putting the time watching film and being there and showing up and helping us get better.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you guys so much. We appreciate it. And best of luck to you guys next year.
Thank you.
you.